Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Act Tuesday, 1st of June 2021. We'll look at the front of the papers. First up, New York Times. Picture from Afghanistan of a camp being resupplied by helicopter. Over on the left, China will let families have 3 children. Okay, so number used to be 2, now it's 3. Over on the right, new showdown on voting limits emerges in Texas. Some kind of a bill trying to be passed that will result in voter suppression, so the Dems are resisting it. Down the bottom, human interest story. Someone who lost their husband to COVID, RIP. Over on the right, dogs being trained to detect COVID. That's good, they need jobs. There's also a section down the bottom basically saying that the coronavirus is basically now a regional issue and they will no longer cover it in the main section of the paper. It'll just return to the inside of the paper and they won't be having the tracking and outbreak section, which used to show all the numbers, etc. New York Times International Edition, picture of a prison in Myanmar called Insane, where they send pro-democracy protesters basically to be tortured. It's at double capacity. Over on the left, opinion piece from Ross Dutat, who I think is a conservative Christian, maybe Roman Catholic guy. Theorising the lab leak is important. The debate about COVID's origins will have implications beyond the media critique. Alright, let's see what happens there. Trade truce designed as temporary may endure. That's the US-China deal. They're talking about how the EU are going to pursue a similar deal where they'll lash tariffs onto products that were made via heavy government subsidies, like in China. Something down the bottom about graffiti in Sao Paulo. Wall Street Journal, picture of a man at Arlington Cemetery. Yesterday was, of course, Memorial Day. China, 3 children story. Something about states in America wanting to ban gas in new homes, natural gas, but some of the cities are saying, no, you can't do that. Story about Afghanistan. Story down the bottom. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice is personally on the hook for nearly $700 million in loans that its coal companies took out from Greensill Capital. Big scandal. Greensill and Credit Suisse basically ran $10 billion in loans, supply chain finance funds, and now they need that money back. David Cameron was also involved in that scandal. USA Today, another story about arms dealers not being very good at their job. Story on the right about the mass shooting. Gunman appeared to target victims at rail yard. Employee had books on terrorism. Okay, so he was stopped by Homeland Security before he was maybe on a list. Coronavirus test options plentiful as demand falls. Alright, something down the bottom about the Republicans proposing a new infrastructure bill. Trying to copy like the Road and Belts initiative, I guess. Financial Times, China 3 baby story. EY Europe revamp sparks fears over sharing of Wirecard damage. Okay, some financial story where this auditing company might go under, EY Europe. Nestle plans new diet after internal report makes for unhealthy reading. So some report at Nestle base said 60% of their products are totally bad for you and will never be healthy. I knew that. Irish Times, 3.5 billion stimulus for COVID to jumpstart recovery of the economy. Remote learning to substitute for school closures. Chief of Staff of the Army calls for increased defence spending. I mean, makes sense, I guess. Horse on Uachtaráin, picture of the President of Ireland standing with a nun and a horse in the front garden of his house. 1 billion plan recovery thing. Farm businesses get 1.2 billion in EU funds. Okay, some of those funds also went to people who just own a lot of land in Ireland, like the ruler of Dubai, people like these. Human interest story, something to do with banks and a payment app. Irish Independent, something to do with the pandemic payments to start being cut. There's the nuns again, Colmore Abbey with a horse, and oh, that's the baby horse. That's the foal from the horse. That's nice. Sport, Irish Sun, human interest, celebs, get a job at the chemist. Okay, Irish Daily Mail, something about mortgages, worrying about the market heating up. A lot of people getting approved for mortgages, but not enough houses, so prices go up. It's talking about the PUP payments also being reduced there. The Guardian, lots of people on the beach. Scientists demand rethink on 21st of June, end to lockdown. Okay, getting worried about the variants. Concerns at far-right activity in the UK military. 16 members of the armed forces have been referred to the UK's terrorist prevention programme. In the majority of cases because of concerns about far-right activity. Okay, not really very surprising, I guess. The English Times, delay the unlocking bit. People out in the sun yesterday. Longer school days in bid to help children catch up. For the love of God, the school day will be extended by half an hour. School day's already long enough, lads. We should give them time off. It's nice weather and stuff, you know. People on the beach again, 4 stories at the top. Boris Johnson's wife, COVID review, China 3 children story, why I welcome a black Anne Boleyn. Alright, some kind of culture story. Surge in European nationals seeking help to stay in the UK. Okay, so the government have fucked it up. A lot of people who are EU citizens don't know if they'll be allowed to stay in the country or not. Daily Torygraph, people out and about enjoying the weather. Give third world extra jobs to halt variants. Okay, something about charity chiefs earning more than the Prime Minister. Dominic Raab to criticise Russia's aggressive behaviour at NATO summit. Alright, China 3 children story down the bottom. Daily Express, sunny outlook, jobs boost economy, and then over on the right it says record baker, hottest day of the year, and it says 77.1 Fahrenheit, which is quite strange because they use Celsius in Britain. Maybe it's because it's a bigger number, it's more impressive. Daily Mail, unmasked, Red Dawn of Oxford who gave nuclear secrets to the Czechs. Okay, some story about a Czechoslovakian woman who moved to the UK. She was a nuclear scientist and apparently gave over information to the Czech government, but she says she just gave them crap information that was not useful. But I mean, she would say that. that, so I don't know. Now end the holiday COVID test rip-off. Okay, talking about people need to be tested before going on holidays. There's the 77 degrees thing again, which I find quite strange. It must be just because it's a big number. Like, no one in the UK uses that as far as I know. Newspaper, police fail to tackle racism by officers. Shock, horror. Okay, Sunshine, Boris, war on terror, was it really worth it? By former White House advisor Ben Rhodes. I'd say probably not, considering over 1 million people dead or whatever. Daily Mirror, people stepping out in the sun. Human interest story. Metro, heat wave alert. Third wave alert. Okay, 2 waves coming for Britain. Hot weather and corona. Maybe one will cause the other to be worse. Let's see. Daily Star, man putting sun cream in his head. Football, Piers Morgan, Phil Collins. That's it for the day, thankfully. If you want to stay off corporate media, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.